Greetings and salutations to all those out there on the interwebs. My name is Senor Carlos Blanco El Barbero. I am the Pin and Submission Herald for the Kingdom of Meridian, and I would like to welcome you and introduce you to all of my lovely minions who are with me tonight as we discuss the August letter. Let's start with the Beacon Herald, Antonio.
Who is not your minion, by the way.
Not every day you get to call your boss a minion.
Alright, I'm going to get a kick out of it. Hey, I work for you guys. Always remember that.
Alright, give yourself a little introduction there. Antonio, introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
You've already introduced me. I said hi.
Okay. Let's move on to Solvik.
Oh, hi, I'm Solvik. I'm a Heraldic groupie, and I'm just interloping.
All right. Kaylin?
Okay, hold. You're just a groupie?
Yeah.
Everything. Who
Try to
knows everything?
people who don't know you better that you're just a groupie.
She's just a groupie who wrote the book on Japanese heraldry, okay?
You don't know her. You don't know her life. You don't know her story. If you want to be a groupie, you can be a
Oh,
groupie.
and Solvig, congratulations on your writ.
Actually, they did it the next day at Penzic.
Okay.
So thank you.
Kaylin, go ahead. You're next.
Mr. Solvig.
All right, my name is Kaylin McOlden. I'm the Hammer Herald for the Barony of Thor's Mountain up in Knoxville.
Cypher?
I'm Ulrich Eisenhand. I am Cipher Pursuivant, which is the Internal Submissions Herald for the Kingdom of Meridian.
I have a gentleman who my computer is calling Jonathan.
Hi, I am the Duoco Herald. That's the East Regional Herald from the Kingdom of Northshield.
Oh, excellent.
No shield.
Oh,
I wanted to check out how you guys are doing this. So,
far away.
I have a young, lovely young lady named Maria.
Close. I'm Ellen Woodrose. I'm currently Cornelian Herald with Ethelmark.
Yeah, we have two Ethel markers here.
Yeah.
Isn't that Ethel Martian?
Yes.
Actually, it is, yeah.
A Martian.
Papyrus just joined us.
Howdy.
Then we have Miss Adelaide.
I am trying something. Adelaide of Iron Mountain. Adelaide Colette de Montfer. Herald at Large for Meridian.
And Lady Rosman.
I'm the Honorable Lady Rosamond Playfair, local herald for the Shire of Drakenmere in Meridian, and another heraldic groupie aspiring to fall these heights.
All right, we are discussing the August internal letter of intent for the Kingdom of Meridian, and we move on to our first item, which is a resub for Adelina Loveday. She has submitted per Gules and Argent a sun in its splendor and in base a pointed ore charged with a heart Gules.
The submitter has since withdrawn that submission and has submitted a different resubmission for her device.
Oh, really?
Yes.
She had drawn up two different devices and accidentally sent in the wrong one.
Oh.
And this was found, and the way this was found out is we went for a redraw, and when I sent it to her seeking her approval, she was like, "That's not what I wanted." It's like, well, that's what we got.
Okay.
So we had a discussion. This item has been withdrawn by the client. So I explained to her. I have also seen the artwork for it, and let her know that yeah, it's going to need a redraw, as well as the point is as small as it is in the one.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. Go. So we're going to just let that one go and move on to number 2, which is Berger de Ladelia. She has a new name and a new device. And what we have here is, let's just start with the name because we have found some problems with the name. Beacon, if you would, go ahead and talk to us a little bit about what's going on here.
Well, the commenter, Kolblith, I don't even know if I pronounced that correct, points out that the documentation from the Encyclopedia Britannica, Isabella, the Encyclopedia Britannica, I'm a tongue twister today, places this as a modern spelling, which may give may make it plausible as the lingua anglica of Leda. But unfortunately, changing the de to an of is a major change that she doesn't allow because it changes the language. Now, I've actually tried commenting people who major in these Spanish languages, and I didn't get any responses back, and I'm kind of torn on this one. I'd say we could send it up as is, notating it that the commenters don't believe that this is supported with the spelling, or and also that there were a couple, some of the maps that were given offer different spellings as well. So,
but that's pretty frequent with old names anyway. They get spelled all kinds of different ways.
Is it considered a major change to go to the Lerida version, which apparently I guess they have a citation for? I'm not super sure how names exactly work, but if it's
no, they count syllables and sounds for how big a change is.
Okay, so going from Leda to Lerida is too much?
Probably yes.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, has anybody been able to contact this client as to find out whether they would allow that kind of change?
Comment that particular one has not been contacted. I was in a because there were several contacts that I was having with our submitter from number 1 that I did not get to number 2 just yet. So there is a chance. So there is a chance that I can get a hold of the submitter before I actually post my letter.
Yeah,
hey,
because
guys, I'm sorry. Adelaide, her computer's rebooting, and she threw a link at me really quick before she left, and actually looks pretty good for it's a book in period in Spanish, and it spells it the same way as submitted.
Oh, that should be good then.
I'm putting this up in the group chat. If you guys want to give that a look over, I don't read Spanish. All I'm doing is just it's spelled Mujeres de Leda. I'm seeing it multiple times. General de Leda.
So spelled L-L-E-I-D-A and what you found?
L-L-E-I-D-A. That is correct.
And well, that's good enough to send it up. Just paste the docs in. I would.
I'm just trying to figure out what this was. It was. Why can't things just be written in English for all of us? I barely read English as it is.
I'm taking a quick look now. I'm not actually that bad at this.
Yeah.
Well, it looks good to me. I'm
seeing.
Translations on the side.
Where?
Half the page is in English.
Oh, spiffy!
Actually, what?
That's
I'm not that bad at this.
Oh gosh, what do we have a URL for that?
Should be in the group chat.
Yeah. Okay.
So, next question is this a period book or is this a book on period books?
That's a good question. I can't see that.
Because I'm looking in parts of it, and parts of it are referencing things from like 1994.
Understood.
But if
the issue is not whether simply with it can be a modern book if they're not normalizing the spellings.
Right. So I'm scrolling through it trying to look for like an original quote because it's got quotes from older books in it, and if we can here's one on page one looks like maybe 140 or 139. It's got a quote that looks like it's from one of the period books, and it definitely says General de Ida.
I have on page 102 a sentence that looks pretty old in terms of the Spanish, but it distinctly says de la ciudad. Oh, rats. Oh, de l'estudi. The page before that says la diócesis de Lleida. So, yeah, page 101. Well, it's 49 in this book, but
yeah, I don't have the.
It is so frustrating.
I don't know. It tells me that pages 21 to 127 are not shown in this preview.
Yeah.
That's because it's a search in it, so they're skipping anything that doesn't actually say what was searched.
Oh.
Is the book also really, really bright to anyone else? I'm having a hard time reading it because it's so bright.
I still don't know what the URL is. I'm feeling really left out.
I've got GIMP, or not GIMP. I've got Flux, which means it's not that bright to me.
Well, how about this? I'll share this with you really quick.
So, do you have the actual group chat up on your thing?
I've got I have a thing called Comment Tracker up. I don't know
what
I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
On the very top left of the window, you'll see something that looks like a messaging box. Click on it and open up the chat.
No, not a keyhole. It looks like bubble text.
White lines on it.
All right, I'm going to share this real quick right there. Do you see what's on the... No, that's not going to do you any good at all. I'm sorry. Crap. I got an idea.
That's it. No, that's the comment tracker. That's about.
I don't know if I'm...
Well, not only does she...
Barbara. How do you spell Barbara? I got an aunt. You would think I would remember this.
B-A-R-B-A-R-A.
I took a screenshot of what I needed. I might be able to share that somehow.
Good.
I thought we had messaged each other before on Facebook, so I was going to send you something real quick.
But anyway, not only did she send that about the book, she also said there is a university there. And with the history of the university, it says that the university was founded over 700 years ago. It says the University of Nadia has its roots in the however you say all that Spanish stuff, which was created in 1300 by the virtue of a charter granted to the city of Lida by King Waman II of Aragon.
Where are you finding this? Inside of the in the about this book portion?
No,
It's up in the foreword.
Okay, so I've got something that might be useful. So most of the book seems to be written in modern.
There it is.
Like for sure, it's a modern document. But if you go to the bibliography, which is way lower, and you look for book titles, some of the books look like they're written or sourced from, like, this one here is 1345 to 1460 or something like that. And some of the book titles still use the spelling that she's got here.
Yeah, let me try this.
Find a good book title that we can definitely source as being from then that would be good enough, I think.
Is she saying Lerida? Lerida?
No, she's using the double L's, so Lida, it's just Lleida.
Yes, I see one that's from 26 April 1600. Esteve Perendieu. Does not sound French. No, does not sound Spanish to me. But it's Rents and Reforms in the Study of General of Lerida. No, I'm sorry. It's Ordinations of the Confraternity of College of Doctors of Medicine and Masters in Surgery from Lerida.
Goodness gracious. And what name did you find that under?
Esteve, E-S-T-E-V-E. It's at the top of page 145, I think, on the right-hand side.
There's a lot of Esteves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks like it's written in 1996.
Yes, but the title he's quoting is from 1600.
Right, but the title is the title of a book written in 1996, so it uses modern. So the title is in modern Spanish.
Ah, that's not helping us, is it?
No. It's wait a second. You don't. The thing is, okay. They frequently wind up mixing modern and pre-modern orthography in book titles if one title is quoting another title.
Yes.
Yeah, that's to me that seems like, I found it. It seems to me like what they're saying is the 26th of April, day 1600, is saying that's when that book was published.
So, okay, so yeah, maybe the specific volume is 1996.
Mm-hmm.
The Gimbernat volume.
Right.
So maybe. I mean, at the very least, I think we have enough. We have enough going here to send it up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of something here.
All right, I'm going to copy.
Yeah, the same fellow is writing another one in the year 1666, and he's saying General de Lerida. So it's all over the place.
By the way, did anybody try an ITI search on that name at all?
I don't know how to ITI search.
It's a city, so I don't. Isn't it from De Lerida?
Yeah, but you don't even have to type "de" in because you'll still get inexact matches if you allow it to do inexact matches.
I did not do an IGI search. That's a good point. Emily's search.
Yeah, it's all over the map. There's another couple that are saying Lerida on page 148.
148.
But they all look like their volumes are modern too. So even the modern people can't figure out what to say. I don't know.
Again, I'll go ahead and contact the submitter, and see if she'll be willing to do the either do of instead of day, or Lorita instead of Lolita.
Now, is it a female? Because it's asking for a masculine name.
Yes, and that's okay.
I'm just making sure that.
This I'm pretty sure this is a guy
Oh, really?
that you guys have all been calling she all.
It's because we haven't focused on the first name. We just been focused on the last name, and the last name has a feminine ending.
Yeah.
You know, they say a lot of assumptions.
Now, is that going to cause a problem? Does it have to be masculinized?
If it's a
probably not
city,
the last names.
We don't do gender checks. We just do gender checks within names.
on the given name. With this being a locative,
It's
And it's a
If it's
locative,
like-
so it would not inflect.
yeah.
yeah, if it's like it is in French, some cities and countries are male, some cities and countries are female.
And they just stay
They
that
just
way.
Stay.
Yeah.
Okay, I found Lerida, Lerida, in the municipal records of France, of Spain, 1500 to 1924, from 1500 to 1505. And
Oh.
It's a middle name.
Oh, but that may just be a name, not a city. It's
Yeah.
not a city.
That's my concern.
So we'll just leave it up. I'll contact the submitter tomorrow and go and see what they want to do, and then I'll.
Yeah, have them uncheck the box of doom. They'll do a lot better. This thing should be sent up because you can register their armory if it goes up.
Yeah, so that's my whole plan, is try to get it to where it's registrable and we can go ahead and set up the army. Now,
Which
speaking of the...
because we actually did not find conflict on the armory.
Yeah.
And I'm still thinking that it's questionable, and I want to get some of the bigger dogs to chew on this bone.
Yeah, so...
Well, it's not going to conflict with Switzerland because you've got the border and you've got the plates on it. So it's... Anyway.
But we do have to reblazon it, because it should, instead of being, as it is argent, a crossbow reversed, and on a border gules, a semi of plates. It should read, what was the blazon that was given? Bromlin White Antelope gives us two. We have either argent, a crossbow reverse gules, and a border gules semi of rondos of plates, or argent a crossbow reverse gules and a border gules platey.
I think you can get rid of one of those ghouls.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too, because it should. I think it would. It'd read.
Carlos, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I was muted. I was over here trying to talk, and I was muted. Didn't realize it. We have Chandra from Palantir is messaging me. She has comments for the name.
Ah, okay.
But
Yay.
since we are still, yeah, she's over here grumbling. She can't get in. So, but while we're on the device, let me just say that it's not reversed. That is exactly the default position. That's default.
Okay.
That's the way a crossbow should look.
So
If,
Okay.
if you look in the text box, I reblazon it, Argent, a crossbow gules, and a border gules platey, and that would be perfect for this. And yes, for the one who was asking why do we have the two ghouls, it's because if you say that the border is ghouls, semi of plates, or platey, then that, and you didn't have the first ghouls in there, then the crossbow would be platey too.
Ah.
So,
You
sorry.
have to differentiate.
Over everybody on this
I
one.
see. Okay.
Okay, so Chandra's comments.
She's typing.
Okay. Yeah, I have her too, and she was sending me stuff, and I think that's how I managed to send something when my computer decided to reboot.
Yes, I think it's an awesome design. I really want this design to go up the laurel.
Okay. Chandra says that the university in the city was founded in 12 97 under the name. I'm not going to try to pronounce this, so I'm going to stick this in the comment window real quick. Under the name of this. If I hit enter, you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Estudi General de Lera.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's that's the one that he kept quoting in the bibliography.
Yep.
Yeah.
LLEIDA.
But I hate to be the devil's advocate here and everything, and wonder if they modernized the name after the city was, if the city was modernized.
So something I've got, the Lerida versus the Leda. This is a great source, I know, but if you go to Wikipedia,
No.
yeah, hold on. It says that Spanish it's Lerida, but it has Catalan as, I think, just Leda based off of the phonetic alphabet, IPA or whatever. So I think it's actually a dialect deal.
It may be because...
Catalan and Castilian are different languages.
Yes.
I think it's more into
Aragonese name. I added more stuff from Chandra into... She says that the university website, both in Catalan and English, it's mentioned a lot of time in Google's books. Yes, it's a language thing. Many times different spellings in Spanish versus Catalan. And I will attest to the dialect thing because my persona is Navarrese, and I was so upset to find out that they didn't even speak Castilian in Navarra. I should be speaking Octasian.
Okay. Off of the link that Chandra sent me, they have a page to the city of Leda.
Yeah, I think that's...
The town, which may appear on some maps with the Spanish spelling Lerida, enjoys a privileged position. Yeah.
Yeah, so... I think that's more than enough to send it up.
Okay.
I mean, it's certainly not bounceable at the kingdom level at this point. This is the sort of thing they really want us to send up.
So what I'll do is I'll send it up as is with the link to the history about the university and the history of the city that they have here. Those two links, and see what they think.
And do talk to the client about allowing at least some changes.
Okay, this is what I wanted to do.
Oh yeah, there are minor changes and intermediate changes. Well, that should be good enough.
That's not what I wanted to do.
BNF. Translate. Spain. Why do we always break?
Okay, so like I said, I'll send it up with those two links supporting the double L, and we'll go on from there. So we'll move on to number 3, which is center of White. It also has a new name and device, Vert Scaly, a border argent. All commenters said that all of the links seem to support what they were support the name, and found no conflicts with the device. What say y'all?
barely squeaks by, though, conflict-wise.
So, quick question.
Well,
Kinrick
it's
versus
still
a
primary.
So quick, I was going to ask about that. So just for my sake, since the border is the only charge, is the border primary or is it still?
No, it's field primary. The border is a secondary.
Guys,
Okay.
guys,
Peripheral ordinaries can never be a primary charge.
guys. We have
Yes.
to have a name.
Oh, there's an of.
There's no
Well, that
name.
helps.
She says look at the name first.
You
Then
have to look at the name first.
Yes. You must do it in order.
Have to have a name that send up a device.
Sinred of Gwent.
Like I said, it's a squeaker, but I think it's clear.
Well, yes, Gwent is how it's known modernly, so that's lingua anglica, so that's okay. So the only question is whether or not Sinred is okay, and it probably is.
Because look at what was registered in February 2007.
Oh, yeah, Prince of Mercia. It's easy.
So we have a Sinrid versus a Kenrick.
Kenrick.
You also have an extra name element in this name.
Yes.
Because
There's that.
Kenrick is not Kenrick of Gwent, he's Kenrick Gwent.
There's also the addition of the consonants. So we've got a completely different sound. We've got a change of the consonants.
Okay.
What the heck? I'm shutting up.
We don't have. Oh, you mean the conflict? Okay, it's Gwent. Gwent is the same. We're doing the of, but we usually don't count that. I think that Rick is clear of red.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the name should definitely be good because I mean if you especially when we go from a ordinary given name to a locative, we have
yes.
Yeah, it's still Kenrid of Gwent instead of Kenrick Gwent. So it's definitely free of conflict.
Making sure.
Well, you can check Cena, but I think it's clear. I have Cena open at the moment.
Pretty device.
Are we looking at the device now?
Not yet.
Okay, sorry.
We're still fussing about the name.
Yeah.
Standards, evaluations, names, and armory. Let's see what it has to say. Let's see. Personal names, conflict.
I think what we have here, especially with the given name, is Kenrick sounds to me like it's 3 syllables, and Kenrid sounds like 2. So
Right.
we're definitely we're 3 syllables versus 2.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, they just have to be different in both sound and appearance.
So I do. So I'm saying it's good. It should definitely be past the bar and everything. So we'll go ahead and move on to the device. So that everybody wants to talk about is vert, scaly, a border, argent. So what say you? We know that the field is primary and the border is a secondary.
So it seems to be clear of any other vert scaly argents, but I'm having a hard time figuring out how to complex search for a border secondary, but nothing else.
Okay, well, I guess we could go into the complex search engine.
It's definitely clear of anything else that's vert scaly argent.
It's clear of anything with a primary charge or an overall charge. Let's see. Conflict checking. Search for the armorial.
I mean, unless I've got this wrong, it doesn't look like there are anybody who have just a field only with a border. I might be doing this wrong.
It would have to be an argent border.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, like, it doesn't look like there's anybody who has just a field and any border.
Well, then it's clear.
It would be clear.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Because on the complex search, I have one line for field only and one line for border, one secondary, and I got nothing with 2 hits. So I think that's clear.
That is just really beautiful armory.
Isn't it nice? I think it's nice.
Pretty.
Salazar Slytherin would be proud.
See,
That
that
makes it
unfortunately,
great.
I wasn't getting a snaky feel. I was getting a fishy feel. So.
I was thinking of like a turtle shield, but it's not quite the right.
Green dragon.
So, all right. So we'll go ahead and send both of those up.
That's gonna make a good shield someday.
Moving on to number 4.
A chapeau.
We have Cynthia DuPont. She is wanting buildless a flat cap ghouls, and commenters were wondering if it is conflicting with the cap of maintenance for the Pelicans.
Well, the cap of maintenance is supposed to look like a Santa Claus hat.
So, but is changing the trim of the hat enough to make a DC?
Considering the amount of trim that goes on it, if you go look at Bruce's drawings and stuff, I'm pretty sure it winds up being about half of the charge. If that's the case, then we shouldn't have a problem, even if they don't pay attention to the difference in shape of the hat.
Yeah, I mean, if you set it up right, you could almost say it's Profess Ghouls and Ermine. If you like put it in the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would make it technically a different color.
Okay, I don't know what the whole thing about a Santa Claus hat. Hats are generally hats, and this is my problem. And I could go look up a precedent for it, but I'm pretty sure that there's not going to be a difference between a flat cap and a cap of maintenance. Now this one is feathered, which a cap of maintenance is not. Is that enough of a difference? This one is not trimmed in ermine either, so.
It's not trimmed in ermine. It is a feather. It's flat. The thing is that hats are kind of regalia, and I think that the College of Arms should be paying more attention to differences between them rather than conflating them all into one thing.
Yeah,
So do we vote to send it up to see what?
this might be above the pay grade.
I will say send it up. I'm looking at the Laurel letter from March 2013, where they changed it from tincture list a chapeau to field list a cap of maintenance, schools trimmed ermine or trimmed in argent gouty de sang. It says, while there is not usually a DC between types of hats, only an actual cap of maintenance is considered a reserved charge.
And this is not a cap of maintenance.
Well,
Correct.
Yeah.
And we certainly don't want to eliminate all hats from heraldry, except
we have
for
so many of them.
pelicans.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd say pretty much covered that one with the
Yeah.
only.
Yeah, I think the precedent makes it pretty clear.
Adelaide, would you send me that precedence, please?
Paste. Yeah, since I got a chat window going for it. It'll send it. It's on there from Wreath, Pelican Hats.
Okay. All right. So I'll attach that with the notes and everything. Since that seems to be the only conflict that was actually questioned.
And if nothing else, it'll always be a test case.
Yes. So.
I think it's definitely worth being a test case.
So we'll send it up with the precedents saying that only a cap of maintenance is a reserve charge. All right. Moving on to number 5, Helena Kameneska. She has a new name, new device. Let's start with the names, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, she wants to be Russian or something.
Polish. And pretty darn clear cut on the given.
This information came. I was the submitting herald on this one, and I got it from. And I can't remember her name, but she's like the Uber on Polish names.
Sophia.
Okay, so that's a slam dunk. Oh, we have documents too. Oh, look at that.
She sent them to me because I couldn't open up the link, so she created the images.
Yeah, that might be Sophia. Lisa? Does that sound right? If you handled her through Facebook.
Yeah. Facebook's responding right now, so I couldn't look it up to confirm.
Okay.
So we're pretty firm on
her.
that.
Okay.
So we're definitely pretty firm on the name. So then let's go ahead.
Looks like she didn't check any of the boxes of doom. I don't see any box of doom information.
All she said was that she desired a feminine name. So.
Well, then that's just fine. Helena is all over that area, so.
Kamenska looks like it's properly formed too. So.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and move on to her device, which is per Ben Sinister or in Ghouls, an owl effronti and a foy counterchange.
The closest thing that I've got is per Bend or in Ghouls, a hawk displayed ghouls, and a boar spearhead argent. So I think that's a DC for the hawk and the owl, and a DC for the boar.
Yeah, we have.
For
time. The side was a regular band, and this is a Ben Sinister. So I mean, we get a field difference.
Oh, it's a Ben Sinister. Oh, I
yes.
did it wrong. Let me add an S here, and we'll see what comes up. Oh yeah, I got nothing.
All right.
Nothing coming up. That's close.
Moving on to number 6, she also has a badge, which is fieldless on a cogwheel or and an owl of fronted ghouls.
And she has the pierced cogwheel. Yay!
Yay.
Adelaide, tell me, what do you think of overall charges over top of a cogwheel?
They are awesome.
It's
The
just
thing is, I had to redraw it 3 times.
oh, if they're willing to draw it, let them have it.
Sorry, Solvig and everybody else. That was actually a kick at Adelaide because she has a badge with an octopus over a cogwheel.
Oh
And-
my word!
And I had to redraw it 3 times.
Oh my
Oh.
word! Are you sure you really want that octopus?
Yes!
Even with all the redrawing?
Oh, yes.
Hey, Adelaide, I'm more
Yeah.
partial to scissors.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at least definitely going off of yours. We're definitely not conflicting with yours.
Oh, no.
Way different color schemes and different animals.
Yep.
So do we see
All right.
any?
We get one for fieldless. We only need one.
Yeah, I got nothing. The closest other thing I have is on a hub of a wheel or a roundel azure, but then you get the extra for the roundel. So
You get the roundel. There's the owls different. I think it's just
yeah,
fine.
you got definitely one DC at least. So
You get 1 DC for the color.
I mean, they. Okay.
yeah. So I mean, there's plenty. Plenty there. Strangely enough, there just aren't that many fieldless badges with wheels.
All right, so we'll send it up with the name and device. Moving on to 7.
Wheels just plain aren't that popular at all. I mean, there's only 32 wheels out there.
We have Marina Rosilla de Leon.
Rosalia. Marina Rosalia de Leon. And I must say that is a wonderful Spanish name.
It actually does roll off the tongue.
Yes,
And
it
that
is
device
lovely.
pretty.
Double given
I
name,
get this-
evocative fine name, and Leon is incredibly easy to document. Okay.
While I have to agree with Beacon, I get this feeling that he's just a wee bit biased on this one.
Pinnon might be too.
Just a little bit.
Pinnon might be too. So
I'm sorry, my daughter was just bothering me. I didn't hear that. What was that? I'm sorry, she's not a bother. She was asking me a question, so I wasn't listening.
Cypher was claiming bias on your part, my friend.
I agree with you. I agree with you that it is a wonderful name and it is a wonderful device, even though we haven't gotten that far yet. But I think you're just a wee little bit biased on this one.
Why would I be biased? Just because I like Spanish names?
Oh, because there may be a certain blood relation between.
Oh my word.
Oh, are you saying because my oldest daughter submitted this at 50th year that I would be biased against it?
In favor of.
Oh, just a little bit.
Oh, is this who this is?
That's why it's so
With
pretty.
this on her own,
Hey,
so
it's
I'm
a good-looking device, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is the name good?
Yeah.
I'm definitely I'm looking at the documentation here, and it's going to be pretty hard to refute the documentation that we have.
The closest there was a Maria de Leon, and Maria and Marina were just too close, so she added the second name. And her mundane middle name is Rose, so
Nice.
you know she
Well,
wanted
this is
to.
Rosalia. It's a different name, but okay.
Yeah, but it sounded nice in Spanish, and it was really close.
And it does sound nice.
Marina sounded something. A marina is where you put your boat, and a sea lion. So she thought that Marina de Leon sounded like a nice camp for a sea lion.
Yeah.
So
It's all within about 100 years of each other, too, so well chosen.
Yeah, 15th century, that's only 1400s, 1548. It's all very nice.
All right, so the name's pretty well wrapped up.
So, Mr. Sea Lion.
So a bat-winged sing lion ghoul's tails vert. So Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty hard to find anything. Now, here's a question. Is this a new mystical beast then?
This is a constructed monster. It's allowed by the rules.
Yes.
It's not a named monster.
Well, there are 39 sea lions that are alone on the field. I don't know how many of them are winged, if any.
There should be some.
Probably, yes. Monster, sea lion.
I've got a winged sea lion Conturni ore, but that one's clear from teacher.
Now
And
notice that the sea lions. Oh no, is it? Do we count this as being half Vert or not? I think it looks like it's less than half Vert, so we may not be able to count that.
Now, it's still counting half and half on the tincture, because even though the wings take up a little bit.
And so does the rest of the lion.
Yeah,
Right,
well, but I've gone through this before. They'll count it half.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
because
it certainly makes logical sense as it's divided in midsection, but you know.
yeah,
It's not half of the mass; it's half of the actual beast. So.
yeah. I think the closest thing I've got is quarterly Orin Sable, a winged sea lion ghouls. But since the tail is not a different tincture, and the field is a different tincture, I think you're clear by 2 DCs. But that's assuming that the tail counts for a DC.
I tell you what, if they return it for not being enough, I'll redraw it with the biggest tail you've ever seen.
And I know you will.
And choke up a little bit on the chest with the green. You could really make this thing half and half, definitely.
But yeah.
Well, there are seen a lot of since for the tail being a different color counting as a DC. I mean, we've had to have come to this before.
I believe it should. I mean, because if we count a field divided in half, that's a different color, and then again, you also have counterchange creatures, you know, that are being, you know, considered 2 different colors and stuff like that. So it's got to.
Well, I mean, the only counter argument I could think to that is that if it was actually like split in 2, the line of division would go partially over like the wings and stuff, so it wouldn't really be exactly like split the way a charge is normally split by tincture.
No, because I'm looking at the per fest line, and the wings are definitely above that line.
Right, but if someone took the blazon and then went to redraw this, and they just drew the tail too small, you see what I mean? Yeah. Whereas if it was actually split in 2 and blazoned that way, someone goes to draw it, and then they definitely have to draw at least half the charge green.
Well, that's also coming into artistic license when you say if they drew the tail too small.
Yeah, right.
Right, but I mean, you know, we register the. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like why they might not count it as a DC. Like it might have to be explicitly blazoned as like per fest, you know, Vert and Ore or something in order to get that DC. I'm not sure. But I feel like there has to be a precedent somewhere because I mean, these kind of like these sea monsters with a different colored tail happen all the time.
You're right. So.
Well, I'm just throwing it out there because like I said before, I've done this before. You know, matter of fact, I took the tail is the exact same tail that I drew for Rodrigo de Fornalucci's Seahawk.
I thought it looked familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a tracer. I've got a stockpile of traceable pieces. So.
Right. I would hate to send it up and get it bounced on a technicality.
Well.
But I think I mean, if you're confident, I think it's fine.
It should be good.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll move. So we'll send that up. Move on to 8. Michael De Volton. He wants a new badge. Pennon, you were wondering if this is the first instance of this charge.
The Arbalest stock. It's not the whole Arbalest.
Very cool.
It's kind of it's kind of slightly outside of what's usually considered. I mean, when it actually states in Cena, because it's a part of something, and rather than the actual tool or weapon of war or whatever.
We have 3 period instances of this having been used as
In
a
armory?
Yeah.
Great.
Read underneath there.
Yeah.
Now, and by the way, I'm going to tell you that I was a submitting herald for this one.
Okay.
So I'm not
But you
bragging
hey,
about how
Bob down there. That's absolutely. Oh, wait a minute.
Now,
The third one is kind of looks different. The first 2 look just like it.
Y'all pretty much just took Schutz and tipped it.
Yeah, that's
Well, that's
almost.
technically enough of a difference.
Good deal. Good job of documenting. And you really only need 1 because this is core style.
Actually, you can thank Bruce Draconaris for this one. He was the one who posted it up on the charge has not yet been registered, and then Conrad Melander, Dragon Herald for the Mid-Realm, sent it to Master Michael Moulton, and he posted out on the page, hey, where do I find a herald who can help me with a badge? And I'm like, dude, you really have to ask? Come on.
So here brings the question I had when I first saw this. It is definitely out of conflict with your first example, then.
The first example is not protected by the SCA.
It's not a substantial historical figure, and therefore the armory is not protected.
Right. There's very few things that are in Mundania that are protected these days.
But
Even
then
if you get a DC for field and a DC for orientation.
Yeah, exactly. You would get 1 for field, 1 for orientation.
Okay. So, all right.
And yes, Solvig, thank God for the modest proposal.
Yes, it blew up Papworth, which was a blessing.
All right, so we'll send up 8. Moving on to 9, we have Pierce Simmons. This is a another try of his. He is running with the 3rd try?
It's the 3rd try, and unfortunately, I was really sad because we all as a kingdom missed the obvious problem with the last submission, which is the red chief on the black field.
Oops.
Yeah, I mean I missed it drawing it up, and then we missed it again at Kingdom, so he had to wait like 9 months to find out it didn't pass.
It's a great-looking dragon. Somebody.
So we have Sable on a mullet of 6 points, or a dragon, Stayant, ghouls, and Oral, and in Canton 2 Rapers, inverted, and Saltaire, or.
I assume the client is insisting upon the rapiers.
Yes. There was a couple. He has been. Someone mentioned to him that they think it might look a little bit like an augmentation, but I assured him that the fact that it was not on a canton did not make it an augmentation as far as the heraldry college is concerned, and people register things in Canton a lot.
Worst I can say is that the oral is kind of skinny.
Yes, it needs to be fed substantially, but I think that's still an artist's note.
Yeah.
Kaylin, give
I think
your
it shows
oral
up
a
nice.
sandwich.
Yeah, I did. It is a little skinny, but
I do have to admit, as far as it being augmentation, it's rather the sabers are rather large to be an augmentation. I mean, augmentations are usually a little bit smaller than that, I believe.
Yeah. And I felt like I had to make the sabers large because they would look like toothpicks, like too much like toothpicks or something otherwise.
No, they have to be big enough to be
Carlos, I'm going to have to
recognizable.
argue with you on that one. Only in Meridian is ours rather diminutive. In other kingdoms, they
They're
have
nice and big.
a lot of different augmentations, not just one standard. And they will give, I mean, the Mid-Realm gave out like 14 of them, I think, at 50th year. Huh? there was 14 or so of them given out at 50th year court.
Well, no, I'm saying that the actual size of it, not how many actually have.
No. I'm just telling you that they've got multiple different ones for multiple different reasons, and to say that they're too big for an augmentation is not correct because they're in the proper size for something in Canton to have been delivered as an augmentation.
Right. I mean, if anything, the Canton space is a little small for an augmentation.
But just to be clear, this, as far as Cena goes, this doesn't count as an augmentation, right? Because it's not on a canton, it's just in canton.
Well, augmentations don't have to be on a canton either.
They can just sit there.
But is there a registered augmentation that is to rapiers in Saltire?
Not that I'm aware of, but seeing as how it was already passed over as no conflicts, I'm willing to bet that this is just, it looks like, but it is not. Okay. And because they have done other things like this, we cannot totally throw this one out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only thing that's prohibited as far as augmentation is on a canton.
It basically says an augmentation may take many forms, including but not limited to a charged canton, a charged chief, charges in canton or chief, a charge associated with the crown, or a charge associated with the individual receiving the honor. In other words, any bloody thing you add to somebody's shield can be an augmentation.
Well, he's definitely not saying it's an augmentation, so.
Right.
And really, I mean, to try to say that putting it in Canton conflicts with any augmentation or anything like that would, really limit what could be done heraldically. So, we'll go ahead and send it up.
It's not sitting on a canton, so it does not have to be evaluated as separate armory.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Right. Yeah. So the only thing as far as conflict goes that I can find on here is that an augmentation that appears to be a display of independent armory, such as on a charged canton or a single escutcheon, must be evaluated as if the augmentation itself were submission.
And we'd have to do the same thing for a device design, even if it were not actually an augmentation.
Since this does not look like an independent piece of armory at the top.
We're okay.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
And there are no two rapiers inverted in Saltire as an augmentation.
There you go.
Not yet, there aren't.
Give it
Look
time.
out.
Get in there
Look
first.
out. Here comes Mr. Pierce.
Just wait.
Here comes Mr. Pierce.
Well, he can't register an augmentation.
So.
Well, he's not registering an augmentation, so.
Exactly.
Good. We're good.
All right. So we're moving on to number 10.
All right. I'm gonna have to duck out. We're on mandatory overtime at work, so I have to get up in 6 hours.
Oh my word!
Sleep.
So I'm going to bed now.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Well,
Good night.
Someone let our good friend in Callantyre know that we have an opening.
She should be hearing that in about 5 or 10 seconds.
Okay.
I'm surprised that they want to be part of this group because the Callantyre meeting is going on the same day and time.
Maybe we're more interesting.
Maybe. Or maybe just friendlier.
Yeah.
All right, so we're moving on to number 10.
Something saying they were doing it a different night this time.
I'm pretty sure that they said it was tonight at the same time. I looked at their message.
So moving on to number 10, we have a very Gaelic name.
Rosha Inganavni.
Thank you.
Just the device, no name.
Yeah,
Just as a device.
Yeah, it's just a device, and she's also doing a badge. So, let's see now. So for the device, we have prepare on a plate a cat sagent sable.
that to a domestic cat?
Yeah.
That is a domestic cat, and you should drop in domestic in front of cat.
Yep.
Although it doesn't count for difference, it is blazonable. Let's see.
Find it.
Let's see. Come on.
This is also a Thor's Mountaineer.
Where to go to?
Just waiting to see if we're agreeing that there are no conflicts.
Kind of surprising it doesn't conflict with something, but
Yeah, so yeah, we specifically designed it not to make any conflicts because all she wanted was a purple field and a black cat somewhere.
All right.
So we looked through everything we could do to make it simple and no conflict.
All right.
You inadvertently made it look like a black cat on a white full moon against a purple sky.
it works really great that way.
Yeah.
Of course, the moon is primary, and the cat's tertiary.
That's how we got around conflicts.
So we'll move on then to her badge, which is beardless on a triquetra argent, a domestic cat, sagent sable.
I wish that Mr. Kitty was bigger.
I'm almost wondering.
Yeah. You know, it's a little bit bigger.
Which is that? What is bigger?
The
The cat.
Oh, so we posted this on Heraldry chat, and a couple of the comments mentioned that it was too big before because they were worried that if it was that it had to be contained on the triquetra.
Yeah.
We just use an artist note.
Yeah, you can thank me for that precedence on that.
Yeah. So
Cogwheels.
we erred on the
Yeah,
side.
it can't be barely overall or something silly like that, but there's still plenty of triquetra there to make Mr. Kitty bigger.
Yeah, it could possibly bring the head up to like the tip of the underneath.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we'll make an artist note of it to draw the cat bigger.
Okay.
And to
Because you really want the cats to be clearly recognizable, and I mean, yes, if you look at it from 4 inches away, which is where I'm looking at from, it's very recognizable. But
I didn't find any conflicts.
all right. So because after
Yeah, I found the one on Heraldry Chat. I think like in the middle of the two sizes. Use
Yeah.
the triquetra that you have in submission. But
Yeah.
Bring the cat up some.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And you might have to physically move the cat up on it so it's more in the center, just to work with
it's
the
a little
pants.
over to the left also, the cat now anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because once I blew it up and looked at the picture full size and everything, I was like, oh yeah. If it was brought up to where like the ears was just touching the bottom of the inside of the top loop, that would be perfect because you would still have a lot of the triquetra still shown.
Yeah, we were worried if we made it too big but still contained on it that we'd be hiding the interlacing in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and that someone would complain about not seeing the interlacing, and so therefore it's not a triquetra.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what their actual issue was with the initial one.
Yeah.
Bring the cat within the outside outline.
Okay.
I kind of agree with Keelan on
Don't
this
cross
one.
that outline.
If you don't see the interlacing, then it'll just look like you're on top of a trillium.
Right.
So
It's a fine balance.
I would suggest sending it up and notating.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my plan.
Yeah.
So, little artist note, a little bigger. All right. So we move on to number 12. We have
Somebody likes her.
we have Sarah Nansira Algra Natia.
I took
Okay,
Arabic.
so
This is
we have
Sara
Ism.
Nasira Al-Hanatia.
Try that one more time.
Sara Nasira.
Nasira.
And per the correction down here, Al-Harnatia.
Ali Haran. Yeah, okay.
Now.
I'm sorry when it came time for collecting your tongues and everything. I was a little short on cash, and so I went with the stock model.
That's okay. They gave me extra.
There you go.
Now, what we have here, what we do have a problem with, though, is that it appears to be two isms.
Yeah, there should not be two isms.
Okay, so for those who don't understand Arabic, what is an ism?
Ism is
It's
a
a given name.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, that's not a possible pattern. She'll have at best this needs to be appended. She can't have both.
Right. And then on top of that, we would have to.
What on earth is Algarnatia? Because it's not. It should not be an ism the way it's constructed.
That's not an ism. It's a locative.
Okay, well, so that's what I thought it was, and we should be able to do an ism with a locative.
Yes, but there's
Sarah and
There's two
Nasira are two isms.
Which one are two isms?
Sarah and Nasira.
Oh, it's pasted together. So it's
Yeah.
not a real ism. That's a problem.
yeah. So.
Wait a second. This basically they should not be doing this first block of just erase this whole business about Sarah. And their argument is that Nasira is a feminization of Nasir.
It is.
Now, if we can feminize Nasir legitimately in Arabic, we can just get rid of that junk about Sarah, which is confusing things.
But
By the way, Naz has messaged me, so I have info from her. That's submitter.
Oh, okay.
If she has to choose, if she can only have Sarah or Nasira, she wants to have Sarah.
Oh, okay.
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 We'll let her know that we will be sending. Let's
Then
do
we'll
a.
with Sarah. I'll
Look at it.
Yeah.
You now know a preference.
Yeah, but she's going to have to send something to Penn explicitly stating that.
Yeah, I think she could just send you email or something, because right now that's definitely a major change, dropping.
Yeah,
replacing
it's definitely a
Nasira
major
with
change. So
Sarah.
I need to see something.
No major change. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a
I need
screenshot.
So. But yeah, I'll need to see something from her saying, "Hey, drop the other name."
Well, I mean, the way the header is currently I see. It's split in half by the pictures. That's why I'm not seeing the Sarah. Yeah, just get rid of Nasira, and she should be okay.
And it's either that or she could change it to keep that name element. She could turn it into a somebody can call the patronym or matronyms isms. That's in the sub. So what is
Yeah, you could make a metronym, but it would look different. You'd have to change it.
It would be like either bent,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's just an idea. He wants to keep the element.
Well, then why don't we just drop bint in there? That should fix it.
No, but that's a major change for adding.
Yeah, I know that, but
she's wanting to just keep the Sarah. So we've got, I'm looking at something from her saying, "Hey, just let me have Sarah." So I'm good there.
Well, why don't you give her the choice of dropping in bint or getting rid of Nasira, because both of them should work.
Well, she's already. Well, that's what I'm saying. She's saying if it's between that, I would want to have just Sarah.
No, but what it still sounds like is there was a decision between Sarah and Nasira, but we can do both of them if we drop bint in there.
Adelaide?
No, basically she's just saying that there's another option to go with. But if Naz just wants the easy... Oh, somebody's echoing back through.
Someone talk.
Okay. Hello. Who's echoing?
Who is echoing?
I've got headphones in.
So far, the only echo I was getting was when Antonio was talking and when
And
Father
I hear
was
it when you're talking.
Yeah.
And I'm on headphones. So.
And Barbara's talking.
I can be a good player too. Let's see if I can turn the headphones on.
I think I have a quote here for that.
He does not want Sarah Bint Nazira.
Okay.
Okay.
So there you go. All right. Thank you, Adelaide.
You're welcome.
All right. Now with.
The device?
I'm looking at what Tala was saying here.
Okay.
Yeah, I see what she means. All of these names in Arabic script end with, there's a funny little letter. It looks kind of like a flag with a dash over it. It's called a ta marbuta, and it has a h sound. So it's Nasira or Nasira, basically. It sounds the same. It's just it really is an indication of feminization.
But it's not changing the spelling in any way. The way we see the spelling in English.
It's a transliteration problem because
there's, we get different transliterations basically.
If you go back to the original Sara, and it turns out to have a ta marbuta on the end, you got to be consistent, which means you either have to drop the ta marbuta from the end of Gharnatia or add a ta marbuta, add an H, basically, to Sarah. It's the AH versus the A on the end.
Okay.
I'm not sure that qualifies as a major change, though.
I don't think it does. It's just
no, but we got to make sure the transliteration is right.
Yeah.
Well, ultimately it goes off to Pelican, and Pelican will fuss about the transliteration also. We should try to do as good as possible.
Unfortunately, Tala failed to document the historical name for Granada in Arabic, which would have been nice if she had given us that documentation. Because Granada...
We've got the Arabic there.
We have the Arabic. We do not have the documentation of the historical... We don't have the historical context. She doesn't date it. She doesn't give us a link. She just states flat out that the historical name is Granada. Unfortunately.
It might be in the Encyclopedia of Islam, but which is sort of semi-online at the University of Tehran, but only some of the volumes can be easily found.
Do you want to go digging for that? Because I don't.
Hey, I did that for for a Persian name all night one night a couple of months ago, and no, I don't want to have to go do it again.
But my only question is this then: since we're dropping the second given name, do we have to add an H to Sarah?
Like I said, if Sarah
It's a romanization problem. It has to be done consistently. Dropping the middle doesn't change it.
All right, Marie, what were you going to say?
that it is a problem in terms of transliteration into Roman script.
Okay, so let me toss this out. The documentation linked for the surname at this point, because I'm not braining at this point. Under locative names recorded in Al-Andalus, under feminine form, it's got AL-GARNATIYYA.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which is not actually what's on the header up at the top, and it's not what's in the documentation. So if we go back to Juliana's research, there's no H on the end.
Because it's found in the St. Gabriel report with the H on the end.
Okay, let's check the dates. 2001, 2002.
No, it's not.
Basically, you gotta just pick which one you want which form of transliteration you want.
Alright, that's not working for me. I had my earphones in, but my mic wasn't working when my earphones were in. I don't understand why.
I would suggest that if the St. Gabriel report uses the H, then you should use the H for all of it.
Okay.
Just to be consistent.
So I kind of lost out on some of this, and I'm not exactly sure where we're at. My computer froze for a little while, and when I came back,
we're trying to figure out if whether or not we need to add an H to Sarah because of transliteration.
Right. Well, in Juliana's article that's given that little thingy at the end that Mari was talking about.
Yes.
All right. Then.
Wait, in Juliana's article?
Yes.
It has no H.
No.
The transliteration has no H.
I understand, but it's got that little cross thingy at the end of it.
That, I'm pretty sure, does not indicate... Yeah, it says the name is Spanish.
I thought that's what you were talking about earlier. Like I said, I missed that. I don't understand what that cross thingy means.
Nope, that just indicates that it's a Romance language name.
Okay, so in that same article that I was mentioning earlier from Juliana, she's got Sarah, S-A-R-A.
Mm-hmm.
So within the same article, we've got no H's.
Yep.
But I'm also looking at this. Both of those documentations are given for Arabic women in Andalusia, Spain. So it doesn't really matter if it's in the article. It should be given because it's not actually from Arabic men. It is Arabic women who live in Spain, and it's recorded in Spain.
Honestly, for consistency, Juliana's documented both in the same article, just in different parts.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'd say go with Juliana.
Yeah.
I concur.
Go with Juliana's. Let them decide any further stuff up the chain.
Which is to just leave it as is?
Drop the H from Al-Granatia.
Okay.
That's all you'd have to do.
And since that's a spelling change, that's allowable by minor.
Yes, that's a minor.
Not to mention it preserves the form of Sarah that the client seemed to like.
Yes.
Which is nice.
And she does prefer that 4-letter Sarah.
Okay, so moving on to
Device is free of
number.
conflict.
Oh, yeah, device. We need to do the device.
There are only 3 crescent ermine in the entirety of the O&A, so I'm pretty sure it's clear.
Okay. So then we'll move on to her badge then, which is again a crescent ermine, but she added a sword to it.
I should do that.
I'm having a feeling that if her device was pretty much clear conflict, we're going to find that her badge is going to be clear conflict as well.
Well, the crescent is not primary in this case, so
Right.
it's a little bit different, but I mean, I typed in fieldless and sword 1 as your primary, and I got nothing, so maybe with the crescent it's not going to show up with anything either. I highly doubt it.
Okay.
It's probably fine.
All right, so we'll go ahead and send it up. Let them take a look at it. Moving on to number 14.
Oh God.
Tearing the waiver. And Adelaide, why isn't he here so we can hit him?
He's on YouTube. And, yeah.
Yeah.
Jared, if you're out there, you should feel bad. You should feel very bad.
We have Barry, Ermoise, and Peen, and Ermine Tail there.
There are 3 people here, and I confirmed with all of them that you should feel bad.
It's a very painful experience.
Beacon wins for best joke.
So,
Or best comment.
It's been called that since he first did this, which has been a year or 2 ago.
mm-hmm. Oh, but it's slightly better than some of the other trick stunt.
7 board heralds? No.
Yeah, 7 board heralds. It's at least a little bit better than that. So, all right. So,
I can't see how anyone would have a conflict with this.
no, I don't either. There's just too much going on. It's just way too busy to have any kind of conflict. So Taryn, we're going to send this one up, okay?
Can't wait to see the Laurel's comments on that.
Yeah, I just
When
hope
the letter
they
comes
don't
out.
come after me with a sword for sending it up. All right, so let's move on to our final little bit. We have 15 William Devereaux, per pale ore and sable, 2 dragon's heads, cooped, respected, counterchanged. I think I colored this one.
Nice coloring.
Adelaide, did we do this one in Arcee Crown?
Possibly. But I thought we might have, yeah, this might be the tail end of those. If there was 1 or 2 that he had to hold on to.
Yeah.
Alright, so are we finding any conflict with this?
It's worth noting that Moiren doesn't.
Closest I'm finding is per pale ore and gould. 2 dragon's heads, cooped, a door, Karen change. But that would get a DC for field, and then I guess a DC also for the
Directions that they're facing.
Oh yeah, and they're not facing that badge, so orientation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What's a Dorst again?
Back to back.
Back to back. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm not.
if that's the closest you're finding, then William should be good as well.
Yeah, I think it's probably good. I'm not finding anything else that's. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Somebody congratulate Taryn. That is just
Yeah.
beautiful.
You
I'm
may be
waiting
the
to
only
see,
one with that opinion, though.
I'm going to wait to see what he actually uses it for. So.
Wrestling him violently and with pain.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brought us to the end of the letter. I would like to thank each and every one of you for putting your time into this and getting us through this. And for you out there in the interwebs, I hope you enjoyed and you learned a little bit about our little process that we go through. And to our distinguished visitors from other kingdoms who joined us, thank you so much for bringing your knowledge and expertise to us. With that, I will say good night.